Have you ever stopped to wonder what truly lurks beneath the sparkling surface of the deep blue sea? We're all familiar with dangerous land animals, but below the waves lies an entirely different world filled with teeth, fins, and venom. Are you ready to dive into the depths and meet some of its most fearsome inhabitants? Here are 20 of the most dangerous fish recently discovered in our world. Number 20. The electric eel, the living dynamo. Have you ever been zapped by static electricity? Can be really annoying and quite the shocker. Now, imagine being zapped by 600 volts. That's what you would get if you happen to mess with an electric eel. Surprise, surprise, this creature is not only technically an eel, but a type of knife fish. Let's stick with the common name since electric knife fish doesn't quite have the same zing to it, though. What makes this fish fascinating and a little bit terrifying is its ability to generate electric shock. Electric eels possess specialized cells called electrolytes, which when triggered will unleash an electric charge. These jolts are not just for show, though. They're actually used for navigation, hunting, and self-defense. Imagine having a built-in GPS, a stun gun, and a personal shield all in one. That is an electric eel for you. The shock from an electric eel will not necessarily kill you, but it can knock you unconscious, and that's a big problem if you're swimming. And so, if you're ever in South American waters and your compass just begins going haywire, it might be a good idea to turn around and swim the other way, just in case. Number 19. The stonefish, the underwater assassin. Allow me to introduce you to our second contestant, the stonefish. Cleverly named for its, stony look. Sneaky, right? But don't let the lack of imagination in the naming department fool you. The stonefish is an underwater ninja and a master of disguise. Just imagine that you're swimming in the tropical waters of the Indo-Pacific, minding your own business, when your foot brushes against a harmless-looking rock. You've just met the world's most venomous fish. How's that for an introduction? The stonefish's venom is delivered via 13 sharp dorsal spines designed for self-defense. A run-in with this prickly fellow can cause heart failure, paralysis, and if not treated promptly, even death. You know what they say, never judge a fish by its stoniness. But what's really fascinating is how the stonefish hunts. Forget about chasing after its food. That's way too much work. Instead, it's going to bury itself in the sand, leaving only its eyes and mouth visible. And then, when an unsuspecting small fish or crustacean meanders by, that's when dinner is served. You may be thinking, fish sticks? How fast can this lethargic-looking lump of a fish be? Well, my aquatic adventurers, the stonefish's lightning-quick ambush is over in just 0.015 seconds. If you blink, you're going to miss it. Our scaly friend, the stonefish, is a marvel of survival, a testament to nature's ingenious ways of adapting to life's many challenges. It may not win any beauty contests or even charm anyone with acrobatics, but when it comes to the perilous game of survival in the underwater world, the stonefish is a true champion. Its peculiar camouflage coupled with its deadly venom makes this fish a formidable force in the aquatic underworld. And so the next time that you spot a rock underwater, maybe give it a second look, just to be sure. Number 18. The tiger shark, the sea's garbage can. Let's leave the chilling waters of the stonefish and head toward the warmer tropics, where we will meet a shark with a reputation for eating just about anything. This is the tiger shark. Our friends in Science Land have given it the fancy Latin name that I cannot pronounce if I tried, so I will simply stick with tiger shark. It's much more simple and much more cool. Here's the thing about the tiger shark, though. It is not a picky eater. From fish to birds, dolphins to dogs, and other sharks to inanimate objects, the tiger shark will gobble them all up, earning it the nickname of the sea's garbage can. License plates, rubber tires, even suits of armor. The tiger shark's stomach is like the ultimate underwater lost and found. But don't let this strange diet fool you. It's not only an ocean cleanup crew. With a size that can stretch to about 25 feet and a mouthful of serrated razor-sharp teeth, the tiger shark is one formidable predator. Oh, and did I forget to mention its exceptional night vision and its ability to sense the electric fields of other animals? Oh yeah, it has those talents as well. The tiger shark is a creature of surprising contrasts. One that's as comfortable with munching on a jellyfish as it is a car bumper, a fearless predator of the seas, yet one that also has a strange fondness for junk food. Let it be a reminder, just because you enjoy eating trash doesn't mean that you can't be a top-tier predator. Number 17. The box jellyfish, the deadly drifter. Now, it's time to change gears and get away from the world of jaws and fins, where we will instead drift into the fascinating yet fearsome realm of jellyfish. But not just any kind of jellyfish, the box jellyfish. Is it actually a fish? Well, no. Is it made out of jelly? No. Is it even shaped like a box? Not really. However, don't be fooled by its seemingly innocuous, almost ghostly appearance. This ethereal drifter is one of the most venomous creatures on the planet. with tentacles of up to 10 feet long that are adorned with millions of tiny specialized cells. The box jellyfish is not to be messed with. Each of these cells is like a miniature harpoon loaded up with potent venom enough to stun or even kill a small fish and invertebrates. And for humans, a brush with a box jellyfish can be excruciatingly painful and in some cases even fatal. That's right. A creature that's 95% water and looks like a floating plastic bag can actually kill you. Don't you just love the ocean's sense of humor? Anyways, if you do see this deadly drifter while swimming in the Pacific or the Indian Oceans, do give it plenty of space. Think of it as a beautiful but forbidden piece of underwater art. Just look and don't touch, because nothing ruins your day at the beach quite like a hug from a box jellyfish. Number 16. The Piranha, nature's can opener. From the box jellyfish-infested waters of the oceans, we now move on to the fish-filled rivers of South America. And what fish is more infamous than the piranha with their razor-sharp teeth and a reputation for ferocity? Piranhas are the stuff of legend. But are they really the bloodthirsty monsters that movies make them out to be? Not quite. Piranhas do have incredibly sharp teeth, so sharp, in fact, that indigenous people have used the piranha's jaws to make tools. And yes, they can strip a carcass to the bone within minutes, but this usually only happens when food is scarce or they're in a feeding frenzy. Piranhas are more like scavengers than they are active predators. They are like the hyenas of the water world, helping to keep rivers clean by eating up the leftovers. However, one bite from one of these can be pretty painful, and it's still best to leave them alone. So, while they may not live up to the Hollywood hype, piranha still deserve a respectful and cautious nod of recognition. After all, anything that can serve as both a fish and a can opener is well worth giving a wide berth to. Now it's time for today's topic. A group of European tourists say they will never return to Australia after a chilling encounter with a massive sea creature off the coast of Queensland. The group had rented a small yacht for a day trip near the Whitsunday Islands, a popular destination known for its turquoise waters and abundant marine life. What began as a relaxing excursion quickly turned into something out of a nightmare. One of the tourists decided to take a swim while the yacht was anchored, but within minutes, a colossal shadow emerged beneath him. From the deck, the others screamed in panic as the unmistakable shape of a shark, far larger than any great white ever recorded, began circling. The creature's size was estimated at over 50 feet long, its movements deliberate and terrifyingly calm. The swimmer managed to scramble back to the yacht as the massive predator passed just feet away, its dorsal fin towering above the waterline. Witnesses described the shark's body as scarred and unusually bulky, unlike anything they had ever seen. Local authorities have not confirmed the sighting, but marine biologists reviewing the tourist footage admit the scale of the animal defies known records. For the shaken group, however, the conclusion was clear. Something ancient and unknown still stalks Australian waters. Number 15. Moray eel, the hidden danger. From our last ethereal but deadly creature, we now slither into the mysterious world of the Moray eel. Moray eels are a little bit like the introverts of the sea, preferring to stay tucked away in crevices and nooks of the coral reefs, popping their heads out occasionally when something interesting or tasty swims by. But don't let their shyness fool you. You see, the Moray eel possesses not only one, but actually two sets of jaws. You can think of the terrifying alien from, well, the Alien movie, and you won't be very far off. The outer jaws will grasp its prey, and then the inner jaws will lunge forward from the throat to pull the unfortunate creature down the gullet. Such a fun time. That's not all though. The Moray eel boasts an impressive set of sharp and backwards-facing teeth that are perfect for gripping prey. Once these eels latch on, they rarely let go. And with a potential size of up to 13 feet, depending on the species, that's a whole lot of eel to contend with. And so the next time that you're poking around a coral reef, just remember there's more than just beautiful fish and colorful corals lurking in the crevices. Sometimes there's a double jaw, toothy surprise waiting for you. Consider yourself warned. Number 14. The beaked sea snake. Now, when you think about creatures in the ocean that are deadly and could potentially kill you, you might not exactly be thinking about snakes. And yes, while a snake is not a fish, it still fits this list because it is a deadly underwater creature. They cohabitate with them, and I think it's just really cool. The beaked sea snake, also known as the hook-nosed sea snake, inhabits the coastal regions of India, Australia, Africa, and the Arabian Sea. And although they are generally non-aggressive, the snake is going to only strike if provoked. What sets it apart would be its venom, which is remarkably potent. In fact, the beaked sea snake's bite contains venom that is 8 times more toxic than that of a cobra. Merely 1.5 milligrams of this venom can be lethal to a human, while a full dosage, well, it can kill approximately 22 individuals. The venom of this snake targets the muscles of the body, which can lead to excruciating pain, and if it's left untreated within 24 hours, you will die. Remarkably, this sea snake is an adept diver capable of descending up to 100 meters underwater, while remaining submerged for up to 5 hours hunting for fish. Unfortunately, though, the creature does frequently become entangled in fishermen's nets, which inadvertently results in human fatalities as individuals will come into contact with its venom. So, yeah, you may not have expected to see a snake that could dive in the ocean, but it is still a danger to you fishermen and the fish of the deep blue sea. Number 13. The saltwater crocodile, the marine behemoth. Now, if you thought that this list was only about fish, you should think again because the saltwater crocodile might not be a fish, but it is an aquatic creature that you won't want to bump into during a midnight swim. It's no ordinary crocodile after all. It's the largest living reptile on the planet, and it can reach lengths of up to 23 feet. That's right, it's longer than most vehicles. The salty, as it's affectionately known in Australia, is a patient predator capable of lying in wait for hours or even days for the perfect moment to strike. And when it does, oh boy, you don't want to be there. Equipped with an impressive set of jaws, the salty can deliver one of the most powerful bites in the animal kingdom. While attacks on humans are relatively rare, it's always best to heed local advice and signage within the areas where these marine behemoths live. Because remember people, crocodiles have been around since the time of dinosaurs and they've had plenty of time to perfect the art of hunting, and they're really, really good at it. Number 12. The Barracuda, the underwater rocket. Picture this. You're snorkeling in some clear tropical waters, marveling at the kaleidoscope of colors below, when out of the blue, a silver flash darts past you. Before you can even register what's happened, it's gone. And ladies and gentlemen, you may have just had a barracuda encounter. Barracudas are the drag racers of the ocean world. These sleek and streamlined fish can reach impressive speeds that are perfect for ambushing their prey. Their long torpedo-shaped bodies are built for speed, while their strong jaws packed with sharp dagger-like teeth can slice through their prey like a hot knife through butter. In all seriousness, barracudas are impressive creatures. They're a perfect combination of power, speed, and ferocity, and they remind us all that the ocean is a realm of relentless survival, a stage where the quick and the strong will rule. And so the next time that you see a silver flash in the ocean, give a nod of respect to the barracuda, the underwater rocket of the marine world. Number 11. The pufferfish. Now we'll meet one of the most unusual and also deadly members of the fish kingdom, the pufferfish. These eccentric little critters look rather harmless, almost comical, as they bloat their bodies to balloon-like proportions when they feel threatened. But behind all of this seemingly goofy defense mechanism lies a very potent weapon, tetrodotoxin. Now, what's so scary about a little bit of poison? Well, that tetrodotoxin is no ordinary poison, my friends. It's over 1,000 times more toxic than cyanide, and just a small dose can lead to paralysis and death. Talk about packing a punch. So whether it's inflating like a balloon or harboring a deadly poison, the pufferfish sure knows how to make an impression. It's a stark reminder that in nature, even the most harmless-looking creatures can pack a deadly surprise. This fish is definitely more than just a pretty puff. Number 10. The bull shark, the river monster. Remember when I said the ocean was full of surprises? Well, this next dangerous fish is a prime example. Picture a shark. What comes to mind? Perhaps a great white deep oceans, that one scene from Jaws. Well, say hello to the bull shark, a fearsome predator that is as comfortable in a freshwater river as it is in the salty sea. That's right. Bull sharks can and certainly do venture far upstream in rivers. They've been spotted in the Mississippi far from the ocean's salty embrace. Imagine taking a leisurely swim out in your local river only to find yourself sharing those waters with a creature straight out of Jaws. It's this combination of adaptability, power, and unpredictability that makes the bull shark a formidable creature and also earns it a place in this video. Whether you're swimming in the ocean or a river, just remember you should always respect the water and its potential inhabitants, especially if those inhabitants have a mouthful of sharp teeth. Number 9. The stingray, the hidden hunter. The ocean floor is not only sand and shells, sometimes it can also be a hideout for one of the sea's most unassuming yet dangerous dwellers, the stingray. When you first look at a stingray with its flattened body and wing-like fins, dangerous might not exactly be the word that comes to mind, but you have to remember the golden rule. In the ocean, looks can be deceiving. The stingray's main weapon is a venomous barb that's located near the base of its tail. It isn't a proactive hunter like our shark friends. Instead, the stingray prefers to hang out, buried in the sand, just waiting for a tasty morsel to happen by. And when threatened, it can whip its tail upwards, driving that barb into the unlucky creature. And trust me, you don't want to be on the receiving end of that sting. Fatalities from stingray encounters are quite rare, but they can also cause painful injury. Our friend Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter, would tragically lose his life to a stingray barb. So, when you're in the ocean, just remember to do the stingray shuffle. Slide your feet along the sand to alert any hidden rays of your presence. It's just the polite thing to do after all. Number 8. The goblin shark, deep sea nightmare fuel. As if the deep sea wasn't spooky enough, I will now introduce you to the goblin shark. Don't let its quirky name fool you, though. With a face that only a mother could love and a bite that makes jaws drop quite literally, the goblin shark is the stuff of underwater nightmares. This denizen of the deep is a rare and poorly understood species, preferring to hang out in the ocean's abyss. And wow, does it look the part? A prominent elongated snout and a mouth that's full of nail-like teeth make the goblin shark look like it swam straight out of a horror film. While the goblin shark poses no actual threat to humans, that is unless you routinely dive several hundred feet deep, it's a living testament to what's lurking deep beneath in the darkest corners of the ocean. And wow, look at that face. Sleep tight tonight. Number 7. The sawfish, the lumberjack of the sea. From the dark depths, we now move closer to the surface to meet the sawfish, a creature that blurs the lines between handyman's tool and living creature. With a long-toothed, studded snout that resembles a chainsaw, the sawfish is quite literally a cut above the rest. This elongated rostrum or saw is not only for show, it's also an effective hunting weapon. Sawfish will use it to detect, stun, and even injure their prey with swift side-to-side swipes. Some fishermen have described watching schools of fish scatter in panic as a sawfish whipped its snout through the water like a spinning blade. Historical records from coastal villages tell of sawfish snagging nets and breaking wooden boats, earning them a reputation as both feared and respected animals. The rostrum itself is laced with electroreceptors, allowing the sawfish to detect the faintest pulses from hidden prey buried under sand. In some cultures, sawfish saws were once treasured as weapons or ceremonial objects, passed down through generations as symbols of power. Today, however, their numbers have dwindled drastically, and sightings are rare, making each encounter a remarkable event for researchers and divers. Though they seem like relics of a prehistoric age, sawfish are still very much alive, silently patrolling estuaries and mangroves. Just imagine being hit with a toothy underwater chainsaw. That's a bad day at sea. While they do pose very little danger to humans unless they're provoked, sawfish are not to be taken lightly. Their unique adaptations make them formidable predators in their own habitat. So hats off to it, the ocean's very own lumberjack. Or perhaps that should be fins off. Number 6. The great white shark, nature's killing machine. Now, what would a video of dangerous fish be without the great white shark? Half of you probably saw this one coming, and the other half might well be chanting, "Bruce, Bruce, Bruce," our Finding Nemo fans out there. But let me tell you, the great white is no animated character. It's the ocean's most feared predator, a true living nightmare with rows of razor-sharp teeth. And let's get one thing clear, sharks are not exactly monsters. They're just incredibly efficient hunters. For example, when a great white zeroes in on a seal, their favorite snack, it doesn't just swim over casually. Oh no, it rockets up from the depths with such force that it will often breach the surface, sending its prey skyward in a dramatic display of raw power. Did you just get goosebumps? Because I know I did. Now, I'm not saying that every time you dip a toe in the ocean, a great white is going to pop up. Shark attacks are actually rare and fatal ones even more so. However, there's no denying that the great white's combination of size, power, and predatory prowess has earned it a well-deserved spot on this video. The next time that you're surfing and you feel a chill run down your spine, it's probably just the cold water, probably. After all, you know what they say, once you're in the ocean, you're in the food chain, and great whites are right at the top. Number 5. The cone snail. Now, we'll scale it down a bit from the gargantuan great white shark to the seemingly harmless cone snail. Small and adorned with beautifully patterned shells, these slow-moving gastropods seem far from dangerous. But remember the rule, appearances can be deceiving. Don't let their sluggish pace fool you, though. Cone snails are venomous hunters, each one carrying a hypodermic-like tooth that's full of potent cocktails of neurotoxins. Sailors in the Pacific once called them cigarette snails, because a sting from one meant you only had time for a final smoke before the venom took hold. There are accounts of collectors who picked one up thinking it was just a pretty shell, only to collapse within minutes. The sting is said to feel like an electric jolt racing up the arm, followed by numbness and paralysis that can reach the chest. Even more terrifying, there is no antivenom. Survival depends on immediate medical support and sheer luck. Yet, some species of cone snails can take down fish larger than themselves in the blink of an eye, proving that size is irrelevant when you're armed with biochemical weaponry. In coastal communities, stories circulate about fishermen who unknowingly stepped on one and never made it back to shore. To this day, divers and scientists treat them with extreme caution, using tools to handle them rather than risking bare skin contact. So, we should give credit where credit is due. Cone snails might not win a sprint, but they've turned the art of slow and steady hunting into quite the deadly craft. Their venom is very complex and potent, and it's being studied for potential medicinal uses. It's just another reminder that within the ocean, danger often lurks in the most unexpected of places. Number 4. The lionfish, beauty with a bite. Next up, coming from the glimmering depths of the Indian and Pacific Oceans, is the lionfish. Isn't that a majestic name? It conjures images of a fierce feline with a glamorous mane, doesn't it? Well, in a way, our fin friend does have a kind of mane, a spectacular fan of venomous spines. Divers who've crossed paths with lionfish often describe the encounter as both mesmerizing and unsettling, because beauty hides danger here. Those venomous spines can deliver a sting so painful that victims report burning sensations, dizziness, and even nausea. Some unlucky swimmers have had to be rushed to hospitals after brushing too close to one in coral reef shallows. Even predators of the sea, like groupers and eels, usually avoid them, respecting the lionfish's built-in arsenal. The species is also notorious for being an invasive threat in the Atlantic, where it devours smaller fish and disrupts delicate reef ecosystems unchecked. Scientists say that one lionfish can reduce the population of juvenile reef fish in an area by nearly 80%. It's a predator disguised as a showpiece, lurking in plain sight with colors that both dazzle and warn. See, the lionfish is not just another pretty face in the coral reef crowd. Sure, its flamboyant zebra-striped attire and long flowing fins might make you think that it's all about putting on a good show. But there is a kicker. Those seemingly decorative fins, well, they're loaded up with venom, and it's not exactly the nice kind. Is there a nice kind? Number 3. The blue-ringed octopus, a tiny terror. Sometimes the most dangerous creatures will come in the smallest of packages. Meet the blue-ringed octopus, a diminutive cephalopod that carries enough venom to knock out 26 fully grown adults. That's right, 26 of them. Divers in Australia have described heart-stopping moments when they almost picked one up, mistaking it for a seashell, only to realize the danger when the blue rings began to pulse like neon warning signs. The venom it produces contains tetrodotoxin, a powerful neurotoxin that can cause paralysis within minutes, and there is no known antidote. Stories exist of fishermen who accidentally handled them while clearing out nets, surviving only because they received immediate emergency care. Unlike larger predators, the blue-ringed octopus doesn't rely on size or strength, but on its silent, lethal chemistry. Even though their bite is often painless at first, symptoms can escalate quickly, leading to respiratory failure if untreated. Witnessing one glow with its signature rings is both mesmerizing and chilling, as if nature itself had painted a deadly warning label on its body. Sporting a vibrant psychedelic color pattern, these octopuses are a sight to behold. When threatened, brilliant blue rings will appear on their skin, as if a warning to predators or the curious diver to stay away. It's nature's way of saying, "Hey, look at me, but don't touch." Despite their danger, the blue-ringed octopus is a fascinating creature. They're a stark reminder of the incredible diversity and the potential peril of marine life. So, if you're lucky enough to spot one on your underwater adventure, appreciate the beauty, but do it from a safe distance. Number 2. The vampire squid, the bloodless fiend. With a name like vampire squid, you may expect something out of a B-grade horror flick, but the reality is a lot more fascinating than it is frightening. Despite its eerie moniker, the vampire squid is not a bloodsucker. In fact, it doesn't even eat live prey. Instead, it drifts silently in the pitch-black depths, extending its long filaments to collect detritus, tiny flakes of dead organisms, mucus, and planktonic matter drifting like snow through the water. When threatened, it performs a haunting trick, flipping its body inside out to display rows of spiny projections, while cloaking itself in a webbed cape-like membrane. Its glowing blue bioluminescent organs pulse in the darkness, creating an otherworldly effect that both confuses predators and stuns human observers who catch a glimpse. In the extreme low-oxygen zone where most creatures would suffocate, the vampire squid thrives, its gills specially adapted to extract what little oxygen is available. Divers who have witnessed its slow, ghostly movements often describe the sight as watching a living shadow slip through liquid night. Residing in the oxygen-minimal zone of the deep sea, this cephalopod has more in common with an octopus than it does its own squid relative. And though it doesn't share the bloodthirsty tendencies of its namesake, the vampire squid has its own share of peculiarities. This deep-sea dweller might not pose a direct threat to humans, but it is certainly a reminder of the unique survival strategies that nature employs in the most inhospitable environments. And so, here's to the vampire squid, the non-blood-sucking, inside-out turning marvel of the deep blue sea. Number 1. The giant squid, the kraken of the sea. Now we leave the sandy ocean floor to plunge into the deep, dark depths of the ocean, where the sunlight is a stranger and creatures are the stuff of legends. Welcome to the realm of the giant squid, affectionately known as the kraken. Giant squid are elusive creatures seldom seen by human eyes, and that's probably a good thing. You see, these underwater titans can actually reach lengths of up to 43 feet for the females and 33 feet for the male, and if you think about that, that's longer than a school bus. With eyes as big as dinner plates, the largest in the animal kingdom, the giant squid is built to thrive in the extreme conditions of the deep blue sea. And let's not forget about their tentacles, each one lined with hundreds of powerful suckers that are rimmed with sharp and tiny teeth. These appendages are perfect for capturing prey and also battling underwater foes. While they're not a direct threat to any human, we're not part of their diet, thank goodness. There's still no denying the sheer power and mystery that surrounds the giant squid. This creature is a testament to the wonders and terrors that lurk in the deep. And so the next time that you're watching a sea monster movie, just remember sometimes the truth can be much stranger than fiction, especially when you're out in the ocean's depths. What did you think of this list featuring the world's most dangerous fish? Have you ever come face to face with any of them? Or maybe even traveled to Japan and tried pufferfish yourself? Share your experiences in the comments below. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more exciting videos in the future. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.